could have got frostbite and sunburn in one day. 5 feet of snow waist deep to, well, this. Welcome to BC, I guess. What a province. 4-wheel drive travel, BC.
Go straight back. Yeah, go, 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 go.
It got really deep really quick.
Mike's found himself on a bit of an angle here, hitting sideways on this bank. Oh man. "7,000 feet. It's a brick wall of snow, basically. If you enjoy our handmade, home-built adventure videos, please consider supporting us on Patreon for the monthly cost of a cup of coffee. Doing hard things can be good for the soul. Proving to yourself what you're capable of is liberating, and the feeling of accomplishment after tackling a challenge is like no other. In this adventure, we point our 4-wheel drive vehicles west into the vast, wild province of British Columbia to seek out challenge and adventure in the hopes of catching just a glimpse of what this mythical place has to offer. We'll be living out of and relying on our vehicles for the next 10 days to get us out into the remote country and back again. My good friend Mike is along for the adventure in his lightly modified Jeep Cherokee. Mike is a jack of all trades on our adventures when it comes to looking after vehicle maintenance, running cameras, and clearing trail. It's always nice knowing he's got your back.
That's where they would have gone into the side of the mountain here. No, I want a tree that produces these.
My name is Johannes. I love taking any opportunity I can to get out into the mountains of British Columbia to spend some time behind the wheel of my 28-year-old Toyota Land Cruiser. This is just next level. I have never seen something so well stocked, well furnished. It's time to knock some pressure out of the tires, lock the hubs, and hit the dirt. It's late in the afternoon here on day 1 of our trip, and we turn our attention to finding camp for the evening. There's something about camping next to a lake or other body of water that just adds so much to the experience. Luckily, BC has a few lakes to choose from. Our friend Jack came out to spend the evening with us as well to enjoy a quiet, scenic camp among friends. Coffee is always a #1 priority in the mornings before getting on with the day. I have to say, this is one of the better views I've had while sipping the Morning Joe. Alright, so today we are making our way from just outside of Radium. We're going to try to make our way up and over a mountain pass and then end up on the Kootenay Lake tonight for a camp spot that Mike has planned out. So we'll do this mountain pass and we'll see kind of what this camp spot is all about, because he's telling me that it's just a heck of a spot right down on the water. We might even have our own little beach there, so it should be an awesome day. All right, so we got some unfortunate news here. We pulled up to the start of Grey Creek Pass and there's a big sign that says closed for the seasons. We're not sure what's going on. We might have to reroute here, but I'm gonna give Allison a quick message on the sat phone here because we don't have any service. So I'm gonna just send her a quick message here and just ask her to look up some information on the internet for us and get back to me on why it's closed. just so we can confirm that that's not like an old sign. Yeah, I'm gonna send her a quick message here and we'll see what she said. All right, so it's some bad news here. Allison didn't find too much on Google, but we were able to find some local knowledge here. There's just a couple of people camping over there. We went over, had a chat with them about the closure, and they said there's more than 3 feet of snow packed still up in the mountains there, because you're almost at 7,000 feet up there, right? So
yeah, and like last year we did go through it at the exact same time as this year. To be fair, I mean, I think we got pretty lucky. There was nobody here to talk to. It was a lot worse weather. I don't recall if we ever saw a sign or not. But
it's interesting that there's a sign here this year, because last year, yeah, we just ripped up the mountain. There was a little bit of snow last year, but nothing we weren't able to get through, right?
No, and we did drive through. It was actively snowing when we got to the top as well. So, but I mean, the biggest thing for me is like local knowledge is always the best source of information you can get. These guys are from Kimberley, just down the road. There's 2 bikers here that tried getting up. They've already gone up, turned around and come back because there's too much snow. There's so many kind of supporting bits of evidence here that are working against us,
yeah,
that we probably could make it through, but would we spend 5 hours per kilometer for a few kilometers digging through snow and max tracks and winches? And you know, at the end of the day, we want to spend our time not in the snow. It's June, it's summer, we get enough snow every year, so
yeah.
So I think, yeah, we're going to tuck our tail between our legs this time and turn around, head back to Kimberley and take pretty well. There's a shortcut highway from Kimberley to Cranbrook, then we'll go south to Creston and then see how far we can make our way up. Very likely ending in the same spot anyways, just extra driving, and we'll probably pull in camp a little bit later. Either way, we'll get there.
Our detour leads us through the quaint town of Creston, a town at the southern end of the Kootenay Lake. With mild temperatures and lots of sun, these conditions make it perfect for orchards to grow some of the best fruit in the world. We can't help but stop in and check out one of the fruit stands on our way through. This family-run operation is an amazing place. They grow fantastic cherries and strawberries here, and even offer us a tour of the farm. We're at the Grey Creek store.
At the end of the Grey Creek Pass.
At the bottom of the pass. This is where we would have ended up had we gone up and over the pass, but we went around and through Creston instead. And you know what? We're not even upset about it, because
Thank God we did.
It was such a beautiful road winding along the Kootenay Lake there, right? And then even through Creston, man, what a beautiful town. We stopped at that little fruit stand and got to take a tour of the farm there and see some of the orchards. They're growing lots of strawberries and cherries and all that kind of stuff. We got to talk to the farmer, meet his family. Man, what an afternoon. It's been great. So we're really not that upset that we missed out on Grey Creek Pass.
It's all part of the adventure.
It's all part of the adventure, but now it's time to go find a camp spot. Interesting little spot here down on the Kootenay Lake. We did make it to camp. It's one of these interesting wreck sites. Usually the wreck sites we come upon, there's nobody for miles and miles and miles. This one, quite a few people here. It's a beautiful spot. It's an immaculate spot. It's so good. We're only here for one night, so we're just gonna set up camp, enjoy, and then tomorrow we have some interesting stuff planned.
I think it's jam. Yeah, it's blueberry jam. Fruit market. First bite, pretty jammy. It's jamming. I'd give it a 9.5. Just gonna do a quick once over on my Jeep. Puts your mind at ease to just kind of go through things quick. It takes like 10 minutes, 15 minutes of your time. Like, the thing I find the most helpful is if you just lay your eyes on stuff, open your hood and look around, anything look out of place. Like, I already found one of my grill bolts was loose, probably just from dirt road rumbling around, so I've tightened that up. I'm gonna go through, just check my belt, air filter, chassis lube, boots that are leaking a little bit, the steering, front drive shaft, keeping that greased up for me at least is always good. It's got a little bit of play in the slip yoke. Visuals are easy, making sure this guy doesn't have any cracks, it's not missing a spline, pulleys are all there and intact. There's a giant spider there, which I'm not gonna get near because I'm not a fan of those guys. Is that alive? Oh, it is alive. Oh my. Belts look good, pulleys look good, that all checks out. Fluid wise is coolant, clear reservoir. The color and condition all looks good. The level's right at the full mark when it's cold. Brake fluid, full mark, add mark. Fluid condition's pretty not good, still stops. I know I have a bit of a leak on the oil filter housing, more of a sweat than a leak. Check oil level and stuff like that too. I can see that it's well above that the full mark. It's good. Always make sure to drip on your fender. Cold sitting, it's right at the cold sitting mark. Battery looks good. I've got a quick disconnect for storage. Make sure that's tight. The last thing we'll do is the air filter here. Pretty easy on the Jeep. You just pop that guy off. It all comes out like that. Give it a smack. Probably some dust in there, but it's actually pretty good. So that's all good. So far, everything looks fine.
On the way out of camp, we drive by a small marina with different size and color boat shacks. Places like these are always intriguing to me, so we stop and check around for a while before making our way out to the ferry to cross the Kootenay Lake. British Columbia has an interesting balance between living and thriving on land and water. The province has over 20,000 lakes and borders the Pacific Ocean, meaning many people who live in this province live life on or near a body of water. Living around so much water, people have done a great job to create infrastructure and industry around one of the most abundant resources of this province. One of the reasons I love to visit this land is to experience what daily life might look like in a place like this.
All right, just getting aired down now. We are right outside the Kootenay Lake. Gonna head up into the mountains on this trail here, see what we can find, get back into these mountains and see if there's anything interesting out there.
We're on a trail now that we hope will bring us up to a remote cabin, then lead us up and over a mountain pass. But first, we've got a few obstacles to overcome. This climb will take us well over 6,000 feet into the alpine, and we run the risk of hitting the unmelted snowpack. Streams are running fast, meaning there's a lot of snowmelt happening in the area. This could be a good thing if enough of the snow has melted to let us make the pass at 7,000 feet.
It's interesting because we weren't actually able to drive right up to the cabin here. There's a big open spot for vehicles to park, but there are some downed trees like right across the trail. It looks like somebody cut them down and just hasn't moved it yet. So we weren't actually able to drive up to the cabin, but the vehicles are just like 20 meters away, and then we walked the rest of the way in.
Welcome to paradise. There's a couch. And there's a stove. And come this way. Through this door, there's a freaking porch now.
This is Mike's welcome to my crib.
Yeah. Well, MTV, welcome to my crib. No way, bud. Come up here. This is sick. Look it up here, buddy. There's an upstairs porch. Oh my god.
I wonder if we can get out there. I don't even know what to say. This is just such a... We've been to other huts and other cabins, and they're okay. They're usually well maintained, but this is just next level. I have never seen something so well stocked, well furnished, well kept after. People obviously really love this place and want to keep it going, so it's really a treat to be able to get to experience this cabin and be up here in the Alpine and see what this is all about. I can only imagine what it's like here in the winter with all the powder and the snow. Must be unreal skiing, snowboarding, snowmobiling. Super cool to be here. It's got a wood stove to keep you warm. Obviously you don't need that in the summer right now. So, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Hopefully nobody minds another addition to the cabin here. A little sticker.
We made a healthy donation because this is well worth keeping alive.
Back on the trail, we find ourselves inching closer and closer to the top of the mountain. The sun is starting to set and the temperatures are falling rapidly, even in the summer month of June. There's not much room for error if we want to get off this mountain before dark.
All right, well, I'm a little buried in the snowpack here. I mean, it got really deep really quick, but it's not for deep for very long, so I'm just gonna hook up a quick winch.
The cruiser is more stuck than we originally thought, and is pulling Mike's Jeep in towards it. We opt for max tracks and a winch reset anchored to a nearby tree.
You're good. Wow, that was quite the recovery. We were just stuck on a big chunk of ice. It's just snowmelt. Just grabbed the cruiser, wouldn't let go. So thankfully had a winch.
The climb continues steadily over the next several kilometers. If there's one thing I've learned about these trails over the years, it's that whoever builds them knows just how to cut the tightest switchbacks.
When you get to where I'm at, it's a little bit scary looking to the right. This one might be a little gnarlier. No, it's doable. It's just it's hairy. Yeah, it's hairy. That's the best way to describe it. Yeah, it's hairy.
I can't see you. What do you want to do?
Only way to go is forward and crank it. Hold my beer. Watch this.
Mike and his Jeep make it around the tightest switchback with little issue.
Let me know when you're ready.
Like a glove.
I'm concerned about the length of the cruiser not being able to make it all the way around the tightest curve. To make things even more interesting, directly behind me is a 400-foot cliff. It's safe to say my foot has never been pressed so hard against the brake pedal.
Go straight back. Just in neutral. Just leave it neutral. You're good. You got 10 feet. Keep going. Stop there. Now crank it. It'll feel weird, but as soon as you start moving, this side will pick up. Yeah, go, 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 go. Woo!
let's get the heck off this mountain and go find a nice camp spot.
Steep. Mashed potato.
Morning, everyone. Last time I chatted with you, we had just done that big winch through that snowpack, and I told you that it was time to get off the mountain and go find camp. We didn't actually end up making it off the mountain and into town, unfortunately. We reached the top of the pass, and
There was 5 feet of snow.
there was we reached a giant snowfield, and we could not cross it, so we had to end up turning around and coming back down the way we came, and camping at this nice recreation spot here. So it ended up working out, but it got a little crazy there. We were pushing into the dark, and
Well, and the other thing too is we did scout, like we walked through the snowfield, and it was probably 100 meters of snow, like distance-wise, probably about 4 or 5 feet deep. I mean, we gave it our best shot, but it was also getting late. And then once we'd walked past the snowfield to look how the trail had going down, the trail going down also was covered in snow for as far as we could see. And it's one thing to go uphill in snow, I mean, you get stuck, whatever, but when you can't stop going off of basically the cliff of a mountain, things get a little hairy. And I mean, as much as, like, you know, we like to push the limits, so there was definitely a choice made. I think it was a good choice. We ended up off the mountain, just on the wrong side. Beautiful day, beautiful camp spot.
yeah.
And like we can still get to where we're trying to go without having to backtrack entirely. There's another cut line that you can go through, which we're going to take today. Late June in Calgary is summer, but not at 5,000 feet or whatever it was, 1,900 meters?
6,500 feet.
Yeah, something
almost
like
2,000 meters. We just wanted to kind of talk to you guys about what it's actually like out here this time of year, because the mid-alpine to lower alpine kind of stuff is beautiful, but as soon as you get up into that higher elevation, you're going to be seeing snow into July. That'll still be there for at least another week.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's just, if you guys do want to come out here, we would probably recommend August. You probably get one solid month of high alpine adventure, so that would be August.
Yeah, and I mean, if you got to that, if you got up early, drove what we drove, and got to that snowfield by like noon even, and we're prepared to spend 5 hours shoveling and winching and max tracks and etc., then yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's not that it's not doable. It's just, again, getting dark on the top of a mountain, getting cold on the top of a mountain, and then seeing all the downhill snow. I mean, yeah, it's doable, but it would have taken a lot more time than we had. And honestly, we've got other things we want to do. I mean, safety-wise, it was a good choice. Plus, we're still here, and we're still able to continue onward. We're just going to go a little bit of a different route, and that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so today should be a good day. We're making it out to a ghost town. Yeah, so come along with us for the day.
The ghost town of Sandon lies in the foothills of the Selkirk Mountains in the West Kootenay region of British Columbia. In 1893, a merchant by the name Robert Lemon laid out the Sandon town site. The railway and mining industries kept this small town booming into the mid-1950s, even after a fire had ravaged the town in May of 1900. Thousands of prospectors sought the riches of silver and lead ore. Ultimately, a flood in June of 1955 brought the town to its knees, to which it was never able to fully recover. Today, Sandon is home to a few permanent citizens who have fought to prevent total loss of the town remnants. Work has been done to reconstruct some of the main buildings, and a museum has been built to remember this town.
Okay, so we're just a little outside of Sandon, that cool little town that we drove through. And now we found this abandoned mine shaft. So we're gonna go take a walk here and check it out.
That's like the mine shaft. So like that's where they would have gone into the side of the mountain here. And all the ore, silver ore that they would have pulled out would have gone along these tracks here. There looks like there's a primary chute here, but then it would have gone down the trestle all the way to that, which I would imagine is either some kind of a holding or transfer building. And I'll bet there's railroad tracks down there.
Absolutely crazy, this place. You can see all these shafts and chutes and see where the cars used to go down, the rail lines down to where I'm guessing they would separate the material. I've seen quite a few of these mining ruins, and this one is very much still intact. Morning, everyone. Mike and I are just getting packed up here at camp. Had a beautiful, beautiful camp spot last night on Duncan Lake. And now this morning, we're gonna make our way up to the Lavina Fire Lookout, which should be a really, really interesting trail. It's in the high alpine. And from what I've seen, the views up top are just spectacular. They go 360. You can see all the peaks and valleys around in the area and Duncan Lake down below. So we're really looking forward to it. A little nervous to make the climb, but I think it'll be a good day. Okay, we are at the start of the Lavina Trail. We're gonna be gaining, I think, about 5,000 feet of elevation, so in only 13 kilometers. So it's steep, up, and short. Steep, up, fast, short. Yeah, look, just gotta go up.
This trail has been on our bucket list for years now. Today's the day we finally get to attempt the climb. I don't think we realize just what we're in for.
Well, we hit a bit of an impasse. I think the plan, we've kind of looked at how the tree fell, because no point in going and just cutting it anywhere or pulling it or whatever if you don't know what you're dealing with. It's heavier on this end, longer on this end. Nothing's really bracing it on this end, but there is something bracing it on this end. If we can cut it on the trail line, which we're trying to do, with a handsaw, which, I mean, yeah, chainsaw are real nice right now, but that's okay. We're fit. Cut it here. We'll winch it off the side of the trail, hopefully. I mean, 15 minutes, we'll keep on keeping on. And I mean, yeah, who's to say there isn't more trees on the trail, but, and we're definitely the first ones on the trail this year, because this looks like it's been here probably all winter. Yeah, it's part of the fun, man. Part of the adventure.
All right, we successfully opened the trail. Little handsaw action and some winching. Got this tree out of the way. Perfect. Time to keep going.
It's not honestly that bad. I was just way too confident and came up slowly.
All right, Mike's found himself on a bit of an angle here, hit some snow, slid sideways on this bank. We're gonna have to winch him forward. Holy man. Well, we have reached a stopping point here on the trail. We're at 7,000 feet here, so that's about maybe 22,000 meters, 2,100 meters, something like that. Snow has just gotten way, way, way too deep. Yeah, so just a brick wall of snow, basically. It's a shame because we really wanted to get to the tower, so we're feeling a little defeated, but also at the same time, you know what? We did pretty good. I'm really proud of the troopy, and I'm proud of Mike's Jeep, and I'm proud of the two of us together. Man, it was a good trip. It's so beautiful up here, and some of these climbs up this trail are crazy, and some of the switchbacks are gnarly, guys. It's quite a trail. So we'll have to make our way back one day when we don't get stopped by snow, and maybe we can make it out to the tower. It's that time of day looking for camp. We are officially off of the Lavina Trail. What a crazy trail that is. Next time we will make it to the top. Cheers.
Cheers. What a day. Snow to sand. Could have got frostbite and sunburn in one day. Well, frostbite and sand in my toes in one day, that's for sure. What a treat. Well, we went from 2,100 meters, give or take, 5 feet of snow waist deep, to, well, this, which is a sanded beach in the sun. It's got to be like 25, 26, perfect temperature. Welcome to BC, I guess.
After a few days in the scrub, a gas station is a welcome sight. We resupply provisions of food, fuel, and other necessities before heading back out to check out one more point of interest on our map.
I bet you'd be correct.
So, we didn't make it to the top of the tower or make it over any of the mountain passes on this trip. Does that mean it was mission failure? Well, in some ways, yes. We were too early in the season to be attempting elevations of this nature, but in another sense, this trip was everything we could have hoped for. Full of challenges, hardships, epic views, world-class camping and fishing, and a healthy dose of adventure for the soul. Getting out there and giving it your best doesn't always ensure success, but it does ensure you'll learn a thing or two about yourself and your surroundings. Overall, I would say mission success.
Cheers.
We enjoy one more night under the stars before packing it in and heading home, re-inspired to experience the world around us.
Couple of camp burgers for dinner tonight sounds good to me, eh?
Oh, yeah, dude, we deserve it.